Good evening, dear friends. Happy day to all of you. Our government may shut down in just a few days if lawmakers in Congress do not come to an agreement very soon. Republicans and Democrats have proposed several different bills that will prevent the shutdown from affecting the American people. Benefits may temporarily be paused if action is not taken. So, dear friends, please make sure you watch until the end of this video for all of the important details. To say thank you for watching and joining me here every day, I'm giving away 4 $75 Walmart gift cards every week. Friends, please make sure that you click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.
Expose this crisis at our border, to talk about how bad this immigration crisis is that was created by Joe Biden when he opened up America's southern border. And when you see millions of people that have already come across illegally, what we are seeing all across the country, what's making every single community in America a border town, is the illegal drugs, the fentanyl that's coming across the border with the drug cartels taking operational control over our border when Joe Biden gave that away. 100,000 plus deaths of young people last year from fentanyl overdoses and other drugs that are coming across our border illegally. None of this needed to happen. And Republicans have tried over and over again to bring legislation to the floor to secure our southern border, and Democrats want nothing of it. They want an open border. Kamala Harris, who President Biden put in charge of the border, still refuses to go down to the border and then acts like she's in denial, goes on TV and says the border's secure. And then, of course, we saw a busload of illegal migrants coming to the Naval Observatory right outside of her house as she's saying the border's secure, and they're all being interviewed saying they came to America illegally because they know the border's wide open under the Biden administration. They created this problem. They don't want to fix it. We will. We're going to continue to push on this House floor to address these problems. Another problem America's facing, maybe the biggest problem that families are facing, is inflation out of control. The cost of everything that families try to buy is higher because of Joe Biden's policies, because of the trillions in spending, because of the radical regulations, and he continues to deny this is a problem. We saw him on 60 Minutes just the other night, acting as if 8.5% is really just 0.2%. because it was 8.3 and it went to 8.5, and he acted like it was just a blip, just a minor little change. And he had to be corrected by the 60 Minutes host and reminded that it's a 40-plus year high of inflation. It's not a minor blip. It's a major problem for families that Joe Biden's created, and he acts like it doesn't even exist. Maybe in his little bubble that he hangs around, the far leftists that talk about nothing but spending and doubling the size of the IRS. To them, that's economic stimulus. But to families, it's one more crippling blow after another that's making it harder for them to buy the things that they need for their lives. Good luck trying to become a first-time home buyer, because under Joe Biden's wild, massive spending spree with Nancy Pelosi, we've seen mortgage rates more than double, over 100% higher cost to get a mortgage if you want to be a first-time home buyer. So now they've even put the American dream, the ability to buy your first house, out of reach for many more Americans because of all their radical policies. So again, we're going to be rolling out our commitment to America this Friday, because we're going to show the country what a Republican majority would do to actually address and confront the problems families are facing that have been created by all of this radical far-left socialism, by Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and all of those other Democrats here in Washington who are voting right down the line, one after another, for these radical policies. There is a better way. We have an answer. We're going to provide solutions. With that, we'll be happy to take any questions. Yeah.
Here is the breaking news, friends. Senate Republicans say that Senator Joe Manchin cannot count on them to save his energy permitting deal with Democratic leaders, potentially upending efforts to attach the proposal to a must-pass government funding bill. With progressives already balking, several Republicans said today that they might not provide the votes needed to break a filibuster of permitting reform a key part of this summer's Democratic climate, healthcare, and tax deal. Though easing construction of energy projects is a long-standing core GOP goal, the party's senators said they were under no obligation to give votes that Democrats need to get Manchin's plan passed. Republicans have introduced their own proposal, led by Senate Republican Shelley Moore Capito, and supported by nearly the entire GOP conference. Senate Minority Whip John Thune said that Democrats would have better luck attaching that Republican permitting legislation to this month's government funding bill than adding Senator Manchin's plan. Senate Republican John Cornyn told reporters this week, "I don't think you can count on any Republican to vote for something they haven't seen." The uncertainty around Senator Manchin's proposal is one of the biggest issues among lawmakers in Congress. The Senate is expected to move first on a stopgap spending bill to avert a shutdown on October 1st, likely extending current government funding through December 16th. Senator Joe Manchin is warning Republicans that would be horrible politics for them to reject legislation that would speed up both fossil fuel and clean energy projects. According to senior aides, without a deal in the coming days, both chambers could be working right up until next week's deadline. In the House, discussions are at a standstill as Democrats await further details about Joe Manchin's proposal. A group of 70 House Democrats, who are mostly progressives, threatened not to support the stopgap funding bill if Senator Manchin's permitting reforms are included. Once passed, the stopgap bill would buy weeks of time for talks on a broader agreement that would boost agency budgets for the fiscal year that begins on October 1st. The short-term funding measure needs 60 votes to pass the Senate. So friends, what do you think that our lawmakers should do to address the current issues? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Friends, the keyword for this video is Big Bear Lake. If you would like to enter today's Walmart gift card giveaway, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below this keyword, which is Big Bear Lake, and additional keywords of any video of mine that you watch. And do make sure, friends, that you are subscribed to my channel. The Federal Reserve has instituted a series of aggressive interest rate hikes in recent months as it tries to slash price increases by slowing the economy. But the approach risks tipping the U.S. into an economic downturn and putting millions of people out of work. The rate hikes have failed to significantly reduce prices. This has prompted suggestions of policy alternatives. Economists told ABC News that these alternatives would better address the root causes of inflation and provide relief for struggling consumers. But on the other hand, other economists said that the Fed rate hikes are the best tool for fighting inflation, but the central bank has not increased them far enough. For its part, the central bank is set to impose another major rate hike this week. Economists who support policy alternatives propose measures like price controls, a windfall profits tax on some corporations that charge high prices, and a dramatic expansion of U.S. production to address supply shortages. A windfall profits tax rests on the premise that inflation has resulted in part from alleged price gouging that is committed by corporations that have reported record profits amid the inflation crisis, such as oil giants. Senators Elizabeth Warren and Jeff Merkley backed a bill in May that would empower a federal agency and state attorney generals to enforce a ban on excessive price hikes. On the whole, economists sharply disagree over the extent to which excessive profits have contributed to inflation. Economists who spoke to ABC News differed on whether a windfall profits tax would bring down prices. Well, my marvelous and magnificent friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this evening. Thank you so very, very much for joining me here every day and watching all the videos I post. Remember, friends, I'll be announcing a winner in a video later today. So please remember to enter the keywords in the comment section below and do stay tuned for that video. Thank you, my friends, and have a wonderful and blessed evening.
This week, President Biden held an event on the White House lawn to celebrate the so-called, quote, Inflation Reduction Act, end quote. He took a victory lap in front of the entire country alongside his allies on live television. But do you know who was not celebrating with President Biden? Hardworking taxpayers and their families who are being pummeled by the president's inflation catastrophe and inflation tax. That same day, new numbers were released showing that inflation continues to surge. Mr. Speaker, President Biden couldn't read a room if he tried. The rising cost of goods and services will cost the average American household over $700 a month. When added up, that's over $8,000 that they'll be forced to fork out in a year. Grocery prices are up 13.5%. Food prices are up 11.4% since last year. This is the largest one-year increase in prices since 1979. Mr. Speaker, anyone who believes that these numbers are worth celebrating needs a serious reality check. The Biden administration's fiscal irresponsibility put us in this mess, and come November, Republicans will be the ones to fix it. I yield back.
Their pain in their pocketbooks every single day. Nearly two-thirds of middle-income Americans say inflation is negatively affecting their finances. An outright majority say they're experiencing financial hardship. A third of the country says they're struggling to meet basic family needs.